Welcome to evening edition of Fernando's Rant of the Day. I just got home from my jujitsu class. I'm a little tired and beat up, but I definitely wanted to touch base with everybody, at least for a few minutes before I go to sleep. So what I want to talk about today is this elusive thing called perfection. Perfection is something that we all know that you can never attain it. Once you think you have it, it slips away. So what is this thing about perfection? So this reminds me of what got me thinking about perfection and imperfection. So if you think about perfection, you have to consider imperfection. For example, these videos that I make. I purposely don't edit them. I literally just hit record and I go, right? So there's a lot of imperfections. Now, I have a very sophisticated video editor on my phone, and I have several video editors on my phone, and I have a really good video editor on my laptop that I can easily upload these videos and add sophisticated sound. I could chop them up, dice them up, make this thing look immaculate, sound immaculate. I'm not doing that. There's a reason why. I want to be comfortable with imperfection. See, I learned this in, let me tell you a story before where I learned it from. I learned this in selling. It was so interesting when I finally learned this. Probably my 6 months into my selling career, I learned about imperfection and what it was teaching me. So that's one reason why these videos aren't very edited, is because I don't want them edited. I want the imperfections in there, but let me tell you a little story. So most of you know that we're about to publish our first book, and it's been an amazing journey. It's been fun. Thank you for all the support. But what we realized was, with the artists, with the graphic designers that were designing our book cover, we would bring them these ideas, and there were top-level artists that were working on our cover, and there were mid-tier, mid-level artists that were working on our cover. And what we realized was there was a difference between the top level artists versus the mid level artists, and that difference was a difference of nuance. What's nuance? So if you look at our book cover here, shameless promotion of course, but if you look at our book cover, there's a lot of nuance to it. There's a lot of detail. And with the those beautiful clouds, the birds, the moon, the pillow, detail and nuance, right? And they did an amazing job. But the mid-tier artists, they didn't have the nuance that the top-tier artists had. And it made a huge difference. For just a little bit of nuance makes a huge difference. With the mid-tier artists, I would have to specifically tell them every step of the way what they needed to do. Every step of the way what you needed to do. I want more of this, more of that. Versus the top tier artists, they brought a lot of nuance to the work. They got creative. Why? Why were they so creative, and the mid-tier needed to be told step by step every little thing that they had to do in that art form? Because they were not afraid of making mistakes. They were not afraid of imperfection. So you can't have it both ways. This is what I learned through the process of putting the book together, especially the cover. You can't have it both ways. If you're chasing perfection, if you're waiting around for perfection for you to take action, you're going to get left behind by the person who's taking a whole lot of action and doesn't give a fuck about their imperfections. You're going to get left behind. And you're going to look a year, 2 years from now, or 6 months from now, and that person who's taken a whole bunch of action is going to leave you in the dust because you're waiting around to be perfect. Perfection will kill you. Chasing perfection, waiting around for perfection is going to kill you. The only way to develop, this is what I realized, the only way to develop Nuance, I learned this in selling when I was learning and studying selling, and wanting to be excellent at selling, not just okay, I wanted to be excellent at selling. I realized I had to be willing to make mistakes. I had to be willing to try different things and get creative, risk making mistakes, because boom, that's where the gold is. When you make a mistake, you glean insight from it. Not only that, you could stumble upon very amazing, beautiful $1,000,000 ideas by being creative, by not sticking to what's safe because that's where you think it's going to work. It's not going to work if you chase perfection. The only thing that's doing is keeping you from all the nuance. Trust me, you want nuance. The only way to get the nuance is by letting go. Letting go. Letting go of what? Of wanting to be safe. You're either playing it safe or you're taking risk. Taking risk is the new way in this new economy. We're in a very new economy. We're a very different economy right now, right? The tectonic shifts, the tectonic plates have shifted completely. They have. We're in a new economy. You have to take risk right now. You need the nuance. The only way to do that is to not play it safe. You're either playing it safe or you're taking risks with your art form, with whatever form that takes. Letting go. So I was listening to this speaker the other day, and he was talking about hang gliding. He went hang gliding because he does the hang gliding and a lot of other risk-taking activities, so he can stay in a place where he's always taking risks. So he's comfortable taking risks. So what he learned with hang gliding was that the people who try to, as you know, when they jump off the cliff and then the wind gusts hits the wings of the hang glider, the people who resisted the air resistance and resisted against the air resistance ended up crashing into the wall. Only those that were able to let go of their control of that force of the air resistance that was coming against them were able to hang glide perfectly and be creative. See, by letting go of the control of playing it safe, they were able to hang glide properly. What about you? What about with your art form, with the dream that you're chasing? Are you waiting around for perfection, or are you letting go, taking the risk, and seeing where the nuance takes you? Free falling, being comfortable in uncomfortable situations. See, I learned this in selling, but now I'm revisiting this lesson in the martial arts classes that I take. It's being comfortable in uncomfortable situations, being creative, letting the force of your opponent take you where it takes you. And when you let that happen, there's a space there that you can create and gain control by letting go. It's counterintuitive, but most things in life are counterintuitive. Like dating is counterintuitive, selling is counterintuitive, martial arts can be counterintuitive, hang gliding is counterintuitive. Your intuition will tell you fight against the wind resistance so you can hang glide. No, letting go, let the wind do what it does, and by doing that, you can have creation. You can be creative with the hang glider. Okay? I hope this is hitting home. I hope you get what I'm talking about. Don't get left behind because you're afraid of imperfections. I can make these videos as perfect as I want to make them. I have the technology. I'm just not going to do that because I want to be comfortable just going, creating, seeing what happens, getting the nuance. Why? Because I'm going somewhere with this. I'm taking this somewhere else. I'm always thinking about the next step. I'm never just in that moment. I'm always building on what I have, going on to the next thing, and I need the nuance. The only way to do that is being okay with imperfection. Take action, okay? That's my encouragement. take action, forget about perfection. It's elusive. By letting go, if you do this, if you trust the process of letting go, and whatever art form you're pursuing, letting go, you'll see that there'll be a space there where you can create. And it's really exciting. It's really invigorating. And then you'll have real control by letting go. It's counterintuitive. Keep this in mind. Have a great night. I'll talk to y'all tomorrow.